Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Good morning, good morning. We're going to go through our top stories, such as the UAE announces a federal corporate tax starting from 2023.
We'll also be talking about Israel is offering full security assistance to the UAE amid the malicious Houthi attacks.
And a new Guinness World Record. The youngest ever certified yoga instructor is 9 years old and he lives in Dubai.
And Dubai is all set to launch a hydrogen-powered boat, flying boat.
And do stay tuned because later in the show we're going to be joined by the founder of FIDA Labour in Dubai. His name is Bhagnani. We're going to learn all about the story behind it, why it's such an important initiative here in the city and how we can actually help, which is the most important thing of all. But before we get into it all, did the internet break yesterday with the dance of a new baby?
It broke yesterday, Casey!
A new musical royal baby?
I think so. They are the new power couple on the block, and they've been dating since when? We didn't even say who.
It's official. We're clickbaiting.
Right.
You can just sit here for an hour and be like, we're just talking about it. But who is it?
You're like, who is it? Who are they talking about? So, guys, we're talking about none other than the Queen. The Queen, Rihanna. And of course,
her bae,
A$AP Rocky.
And the two announced their impending baby.
Their very first, it's their first child for the both.
And they did what they would do is they didn't really have a photo shoot, but they walked through a freezing New York City. And Rihanna's wearing this
peek-through pink jacket.
And loads of jewels. And they just look super happy. Sorry, I'm just checking because our Instagram is going a little bit funny.
Unbuttoned pink jacket, lots of jewels, like Casey said, and they've been going out since November 2020. So 2 years they've been going strong, and now they're finally expecting their first baby. And everyone, literally, Shahir was the first one to send it on a group, and then as soon as I opened Instagram after that, I think half of the people that I follow had it up on their stories.
Yeah, why is that?
It's just big news. A mini Rihanna.
I know. I saw a great meme and it was like the person who gets to be Rihanna's baby, and Rihanna was congratulating this 17-year-old kid, and it's
oh my god. Oh, honestly, having that woman as your mother, she is so talented.
She's amazing. I don't know much about him, to be honest, but I love her. I think she's so great. When you see her in interviews, her sass and her kind of her kickbacks about women empowerment, she's so great, and she knows exactly who she is. She's so strong, and she's also a businesswoman. So not only is she a musical genius, but she's connected Fenty, which is her makeup and beauty line, with the LVMH group. I don't know if they're still together. I assume they still are a collaboration, which is obviously the massive luxurious, the most expensive luxury goods company in the world. And she made that happen. And Fenty is obviously a really famous makeup line.
I mean, just a huge day. A lot of celebrations. This is one celebration.
And moving on to the top. Oh, what were you going to say next one?
You're driving.
Oh.
Casey, it's been long. It's been a long time in the making for you to pass this.
We were going to talk about this today, but yes.
Congrats.
Thank you. I passed the Galadari section of the driving, 3 takes.
Finally.
Can I tell you a secret?
Pick up right soon, yeah.
I wasn't doing too well.
But you passed.
I passed.
So that doesn't matter. The details don't matter.
I feel like it was my chat that got me through the test more than my driving skill. I was about to hit the line, and he was like, and I was like, and he was like, so I swam to the left of it, and he was like, continue. But I told him, I was like, I'm perfect driving, questionably, outside of the test. Mm-hmm. And I was like, on that yard where we practice, I've been told I'm really good at parking.
Maybe it's just all the pressure. No?
Yeah, it's much harder in the test. But anyway, 3 down, 2 to go.
Woo.
Such a long road.
It's just gonna
fly by.
Fly by now.
Fly by. Mm-hmm. What may not fly by is the time between here and when corporate tax is going to be introduced in the UAE, which is, of course, our top story today. The UAE has announced federal corporate tax, and that will come into effect from June 2023. So the UAE will introduce a federal corporate tax on business profits that will be effective for financial year starting on the 1st of June 2023. Firstly, take note, the statutory tax rate of 9% and a 0% tax rate of taxable profits up to 375,000 dirhams. So basically, they're still keeping an eye on small businesses and startups and supporting there. And also these rates mean that the UAE corporate tax regime will be among the most competitive in the world.
Now, before people freak out, it's also worth knowing no corporate tax will apply on personal income from employment, real estate and other investments, or on any other income earned by individuals that does not arise from a business or other form of commercial activity licensed or otherwise permitted to be undertaken in the UAE.
And along with that, the UAE corporate tax regime will continue to honour the corporate tax incentives offered to free zone businesses that comply with all regulatory requirements and that do not conduct business within the mainland UAE. So there is kind of a small stipulation there for free zone businesses.
Now, the main aim of the tax is to ensure we meet international standards for tax transparency and preventing harmful tax practices. So that is basically it. But for the full article and the full breakdown on what's happening, you guys can always head down to our website and read the article.
100%. They've kind of added, the government shared additional information. So like there's a whole rake of information that if you're interested, you can get it. It cements our position as a world leading home for business and investment. So they talk about competitiveness and where that will leave us. But obviously the rates are quite competitive. And it will be an accelerator for the economy, which is only good things.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to hear business owners' take on this, because just yesterday Rich put on a story that this is a great step for the UAE. So just, like to hear what they're thinking, what's going on inside their heads. Like, it would be great to have them down.
It would be interesting.
One of them, if we know any.
Know any business people?
Business owners, any CEOs.
Are you waiting for Rich to walk in? Is that what's happening?
I thought it would,
Rich is sitting somewhere right now being like...
Anyway, we'll move on to our next story. Now, Israel is offering its full security assistance to the UAE amid malicious Houthi attacks. Now, Israel's President Isaac Herzog paid his first ever visit to the UAE on Sunday, January 30th, and was accompanied by his wife, Michelle Herzog, aka Israel's First Lady, for a 2-day visit. Now, the Israeli president was then ushered to the capital's presidential palace, Qasr Al Watan, and was greeted by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces.
Now, according to the state news agency WAM, 21 rounds of artillery were fired to celebrate the historic visit that discussed bilateral relations, regional issues of mutual interest, and the importance of exploring further opportunities to build bridges of cooperation and friendship between the two nations, as stated by MBZ in a tweet.
Now, in a further effort to honor the Abraham Accords, Israel offered its full support and security support to the UAE amid Houthi attacks. And if you guys saw tweets and all of that, Ishi Baladi and Hativa, the national anthems of both nations played as guards greeted the Israeli President Herzog in the palace. And the video was shared with a fitting caption reading, "That's what peace between nations sounds like." So great caption there. And today the expo is, the Israeli president figurehead is planning on going down to the expo for Israeli National Day celebrations.
And he was also greeted by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, during this kind of historic visit, which is incredible because, as we see, it's just building peace and tolerance, which is what the nation kind of stands by as a mantra. So we support.
Exactly.
Let's jump into our next story. The youngest ever certified yoga instructor in the world, Guinness World Record certified, is a 9-year-old living in Dubai. So the 9-year-old, he is actually 9 years and 220 days old, was achieved by Raynash Surani on 27th July 2021. He received a certification from the Anand Sheknar Yoga School after completing the 200 hours teacher's training course.
Now, thank you to Ashna Surani for sharing this story. She's a mom to Raynash, who is studying in GEMS Modern Academy and who recently completed 200 hours of yoga teacher training from a Yoga Alliance certified in India. Yeah,
and so what you can see beside us is a certificate to show that he's actually approved. So 9 years old. What is the number of hours they say you need to become an expert at something, a genius? 10,000. Okay, he's done 200 hours of yoga, but still, he's 9 years old, and that commitment, that perseverance, incredible for his family. They now have a yoga instructor because I'm sure he can't actually work for money yet.
9 years old. Some of these kids are so talented and prodigies at what they do, like dance. Like kids who can dance I just can't stop obsessing over them. And now a kid 9-year-old who's a certified yoga teacher.
I mean, he's only going to go on to great things. Apparently, he saw his mom and his granny doing yoga at home, and that kind of motivated him and pushed him to go on to do the classes. But yeah, just incredible. 9 years old, and it just shows so much passion and skill there, I think.
Maybe soon he'll be a business owner, and he can come down on the show and tell us his take on the taxes.
Oh, speaking of, we got a business owner down to come on the show and speak about taxes. We have Richard Fitzgerald here. Richard, a business owner in Dubai. Take a seat.
Yes.
We don't have one for you.
I will. Wait, I'm just gonna hold the mic.
We'll do it like this.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, so you're a business owner.
Yeah.
And yesterday, for the first time historically in the UAE, a corporate business tax was introduced, coming into effect from June 2023. How did that feel?
Well, I thought you guys explained it quite well, but
Thank
it was expected. A lot of people expected it. It's not income tax. You know, I think, how I explain this? So tax is often seen from a consumer and an individual or a business own interest point of view, but taxes are actually economic instruments. They're actually fiscal, and they're tools to stimulate and to grow economies. So they're levers, they're mechanisms, right? So that's what they are. So so the only lens you can look at this is from a UAE government instrumental economy lens. Like that's the only, anyone else looking at it any differently is only being selfish, is only thinking of yourself. That was quite skillful, Shahir. Didn't know you could do that.
Will the move keep the UAE competitive to, let's say, for example, foreign investors who want to come in?
Well, that's a good question. Yes, because there are no real lower corporate tax in the world than 9%. Ireland's 12%. Most in Europe are 20 something. US is 20 something corporate tax. In fact, it actually makes it more competitive in a funny way, because it makes it more legit, more clean business. A lot of money that comes in here, you want it to be in the interest of doing good business. Business is good. Business can be good. This phrase, when people say business is business, it's almost like end justifies the means. It's almost like it's a dirty word. No, business can be good. And what needs to happen is, I was speaking to someone the other day, and I told them that we pay 20% corporate tax in Saudi Arabia because we're a foreign-owned company. And they said, oh, we'll never do that. We'll go with a partner, we'll do it here. And it's kind of like, we'll find a way around, That's not the way you should be thinking of it. You should be thinking that, and then other things that the government in the country has done in the past is comply with norms of regulatory business norms in other countries to stop money laundering and to stop bad governance, right? What happens in some countries, in Ireland in particular, companies make money in the US and they put it through their Dublin office to avoid taxes. So from that 20% to 12%, that's what they do. And then they get fines on it, etc. But you have shell offices, and that's kind of malpractice. And a lot of, even to a higher degree, has been happening here. And they've done a huge work over the last 2-3 years. There's technical terms of the kind of certificates of good governance. It's basically governance. ESG is a term in business at the moment, which is environmental, social governance, sustainable governance. So there's 3 separate things. And is our countries and people and companies doing good for the environment? Are they good for social, and they're good for governance? And this is a form of governance. So people should embrace it. And they should say, well, actually, it means that we will be better at business. And that's what I meant yesterday when I said it was good for the overall economy, because it means that there'll be better run businesses here in line with mature, robust economies around the world. A bit heavy for the Lovin Dubai show this morning.
It's a good summary. I understand it more. No income tax for the people, and good that businesses are getting taxed.
Well, I've turned the question on you, because this is a corporate tax thing. Do you think it would be a disincentivise to individuals if you had to pay 20% tax? Would you leave the country?
Whoa.
Would you come in the first place? How big a thing is the tax thing for income tax?
Increase salaries alongside? No.
Yeah, but do you think, then do you think the company should pay individuals income tax, or should an individual pay income tax?
Exactly.
Do you
as long
think
as
your
it's-
taxes
as long
go
as it's not
towards,
taken.
you know what, go back to what I said at the start, sorry. The taxes are supposed to help the roads, the schools, the water, right? So do you think that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think you look at the reasons that you're here and where does your salary sit on that? Because everyone has different reasons for being here. So are we here because the country's super safe? Am I here because I can walk the streets at night? Probably. Am I here because of the weather? 100%. Am I here because of the salary? Could I be paid more? Who knows? So I think, but you look at different people and their incentives for being in the country. So some people's salary will be up there in the tax. Other people are here for safety. Other people are here for different reasons, for the opportunity that you can get from the city, which is 10 times I would get anywhere else. So for me, the tax, we'll see.
I feel like the UAE's biggest USP was no tax, no corporate tax, no income tax. So this just...
It's a good point. It's definitely
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting move.
It's definitely a thing that UAE had to its strength, but it doesn't mean that it can't compete anyway. It doesn't mean that it can't be competitive anyway. And then it's going back to individuals. Do you think people should pay tax anyway? We live in a capitalist world.
Stop. That was our capitalist chat for this morning. Thank you for joining us, Rich. We have to move on to a solar-powered boat story.
Okay, bye. Whose is this? Sorry.
Merci. Okay, guys, if you want to go back over the corporate tax chat. Rich, one of these yours? Okay. Which one? Clean your phone screen.
More on Smashy later.
More on Smashy later in the show, which is our sister channel that's all about Arabic business news and tech.
Yeah.
That's great.
So more on Rich explaining corporate tax there.
And moving into our next story, which is fully focused on innovation in Dubai.
Yes. Now, Dubai is all set to launch the world's first hydrogen-powered flying boat.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Now, did someone say flying boat? We just did. Now, Dubai is calling dibs on launching the world's first clean energy hydrogen-powered flying boat, the Jet, and this will be launched and manufactured in Dubai by the Swiss-based startup, the Jet Zero Emissions, and collab with Zenith Marine Services LLC and DWYN LLC.
First of all, have you seen the photos of this? It's blowing up social media. It's literally the slickest thing I've ever seen, and I want to be on it already. The announcement reflects the Emirates' leading position as a global hub for future industries. So Dubai's supportive investment environment has made it the ideal launchpad for innovative companies such as this, and they're to reach their global ambitions. So the Jet is going to be the world's first boat to sail without noise, waves, or emissions. So a boat's going to sail without making waves. That's amazing. And it will have the ability to fly 80 centimeters above the water and the capacity to hold 6 to 8 passengers.
That is so cool. Like, it's actually going to hover above water. We're going to have flying cars. You're going to have flying boats. Like Rich said, it's really...
first before we go to flying cars. Thanks. Then what if I have to do a whole new license for a flying car? It would never happen.
That's going to be a pilot's license, no?
Your pilot's license.
So literally, we're going to be pilots and drivers, and we can... with that one license, we can practically drive all kinds of vehicles,
flying
mobiles.
vehicles. Yeah. So does that get raised to a plane or?
Plane, jets, cars, boats.
I don't know.
Flying motorbikes.
So all I'm thinking when I think of this boat, my mind is too small to actually get there. So I'm just thinking of like the hover things that you see on on the sea that are awesome though. They're like surfboards that people go across. Like they're incredible. In terms of tech, it's amazing. I don't know how they work, but this is obviously on a whole other scale. And when the Jet is ready, you can be guaranteed it's going to make global headlines directly from here in Dubai. It's so cool.
And that too, it's zero emissions and clean energy. And plus, I feel like maybe I'm getting this wrong, but just not having so much disturbance in the water. It's great for the marine life as well. You know, the fishies.
Who's
can
thinking
thrive.
about the fishies?
Our people at Jet sure are thinking about them fishies. And we have loads of kind people and people who think about the communities and the environment.
Speaking of, stay tuned. Very shortly, we're going to be joined by Bhagnani, who is a local businessman and philanthropist who also is the founder of Feed a Labour, which is an incredible initiative right here in Dubai. He's going to be with us very, very shortly, so stay tuned.
said, I enjoy doing this, so why not cater to a lot more people? And then we created a Facebook group, and that's how people started coming forward, and then we increased and increased. So we used to give to about 100 people, and now every weekend it's about 2,000.
Wow.
But we don't give cooked food items, of course, keeping the laws in mind. We give non-cooked food items, so like we give them fruits, vegetables, laban ups, juices, chips, croissants.
So every weekend you're feeding 2,000 people.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so going back to, it started in a cafeteria.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of grow from there? Did you go to different cafeterias? Did you go to, I guess, labor accommodation facilities?
Yes. So what we do is, as a feeder labor, we go to a construction site where the construction has just begun. And because I'm very close to this industry, I'm into real estate, so I understand the efforts being put in behind, building these high rises. So I go to a construction site, I take the permissions from the engineers, from the owners of that building. So it takes about 3 years for any high rise to get constructed, 3 to 3.5 years. So every Saturday we go to that site till it's completed. And when the laborers move out, we also move out, and then we look for another sites. So we choose different locations. So previously we were doing in Gisais, Boat-Inder, and Business Bay. But for now we're just doing in Boat-Inder and Business Bay. So in total it's about 2,000.
And I guess, if you're there, consecutively for every week, do you start building relationships? And what is the reaction of the people?
Oh, they get super excited. It's like how we look for our weekends, they look for that particular Saturday.
Really?
And they're like, so it was so nice last week, in fact. So whilst we give, I tend to talk to them, like, how's your work going? How's your family? If you have kids, and so on and so forth. So it's like, sir, every weekend you get us vegetables. There's a family who donates fruits and vegetables, and we usually bring in laban ups. It's like, can we get some pack of biscuit? Because now it's cold. We would love to have with our tea. I said, oh, why not? Yes, of course. If there's anything else, do let me know. I said, no, I think that should suffice. I said, okay. So I just put in the group. I said, hey guys, they asked for a pack of biscuits. If anybody want to come forward and probably donate. And we've got chunk of items come in. It was like hot chips, Cheetos.
The sweet stuff, the good stuff.
Sweet stuff, like so much. And when they got it, they're like, we just asked you for a biscuit. And wow. We're like, we're so happy. I'm like, these small things make them so happy. I'm like, I wish we can keep continuing, giving in a large quantity to them.
Well, that's why it's important, I guess, for people to know about what you're doing. And in terms of, you said someone gives the fruit and you give the labna. How do you get the support? How do you get the community involved? Yes. How do you get people kind of giving the fruit and veg and giving the Cheetos or whatever it is?
Right. So it's been now 397 weeks since I started, and it's been non-stop even during COVID. So the beauty of feeder labor is we don't collect cash, so no donations. Of course, that's Dubai laws. We can't raise funds. We don't take any of your goods. If you want to, I've got calls that, hey, I've got 1,000 packs of chips. Can I get it delivered to your house? I trust you. Why don't you go and deliver it? I said, sorry, no. The whole purpose of feeder labor is we don't need your money. I need your time. So once you give your time to someone who cannot give anything back to you, that's what I want you to experience it. So it's very easy for you to say, hey, you know what? I want to give you 500 dirhams every month from my salary. Go and do it. But that you can earn it back. So what about your time? For someone who's never going to give you any benefit. So the whole purpose of feeder labor is we want you to go take the effort, go to a supermarket or wholesaler, buy these items, load them in, come to the site. Now the weather is good, but in the summers you actually feel it. Even standing there for just 10 minutes, we've had people fainted, we've had people getting issues with dehydrations. Come to the site, give with your own hand, and get the feeling, because that's priceless. So we give cash. Yes, I mean everybody has their own way of distributing or doing their charity, but I personally feel that time is a commodity which can never be gained back, and especially for someone who can never give anything back to us. Just then a thank you or probably a smile or just even nothing. A lot of laborers just say thank you, sir. Some don't even say anything, but it's just the feeling which we gain at the beginning of the week, now it's like the weekend. It's just priceless.
Talk to us about any of the people that you've met and the reactions that you've gotten from them. Have you kind of discovered more about their personal stories during your time?
Yes. So pre-COVID, we used to celebrate. So let's say when we completed 100 weeks of distribution non-stop, we would celebrate. We go to a labor camp. We would gather a group of people. We would distribute the quantity of the number of labor at the camp. So if there are 3,000 people, our aim was to increase the number of quantities. So we distributed about 22 items, which is 3,000 per item at the labor camp. So that's your vests, t-shirts, washing powders, fruits, labans. So a lot of people came forward, and we were at one of the labor camps. I remember this was in Al Quoz, and when we gave it to him, he was just standing there. He didn't move. And after an hour, I was wondering, why is he just standing there? He's not doing anything, I approached him. I said, "You okay? I mean, do you need something? Why are you standing here?" He said, "Who are you guys? Why did you guys come here?" I was shocked. I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean? He said, "Nobody has ever done this for us." And I said, "Can I just hug you? Because I've been seeing you running around organizing things. Wow. I just wanted to hug you and say thank you because you thought about us. These things, yeah, could be small for you guys, but it's quite big for us. And can I just hug you and say thank you?" Oh my God, I was like, that was the most emotional hug ever I've received, and I can never forget that moment. So that has been the most memorable day for me, in fact.
Wow, that's so touching. These guys are building the city.
Yeah.
And for them to say to you, that he felt that no one had ever seen him, and that you're the first person to actually acknowledge and thank.
And he said, "Why are you giving it to us?" And what we said is, the reason we're giving it to you is to appreciate what you guys are doing. It's always easy to appreciate people of our level. So if we are working with, if we're in a company and we have colleagues and they do something for us, it's very easy for us to appreciate because we feel they are of our level. But sometimes, probably you could see the pride, the ego comes in when somebody's below us. It's very difficult to go down there and say, "Hey, you know what, thank you for doing this for me." It's very easy to say thank you to someone above us.
It's interesting.
Always, because we always feel they're more empowering and we're below them. But what about when you say thank you? Can you say thank you to someone, a cleaner? Someone who adds no value to your life, but probably just even opening a door for you or doing something. So yes, we cannot go out to thousands of laborers and say thank you, but that's one of our way of giving them back and just appreciating their hard work. Yes, they're doing for the company, they're earning it, they're earning well, they're living a good lifestyle in Dubai compared to back in India and Africa. But I just feel that it's it's our responsibility to appreciate those who are below us.
Do you have any idea of the scale of the number of people you've helped since you started back in 2014?
Yeah, it's crossed over 500,000 already.
Wow, that's incredible.
So 397 weeks, over 500,000.
That's simply amazing. And to anyone who's watching who thinks that they don't have the time, do you have any kind of any message to them to note how helpful their time could be?
Yes. So we often, I get this a lot. In fact, when we put requests on the Facebook group and they're like, "Hey, listen, it's weekend. I don't have the time. Can I give you something?" And I said, you need to take some time out. I'm not saying come and put 2 hours and distribute to probably, we don't do the distribution right now, but you can help even one person in a day. If you see a cleaner, give him something. So whenever I go out for work and my mom, my dad, they ring me up and they're like, "Are you coming home for lunch? Having lunch with us?" I said, "Nope." So my friends, they usually joke around. They're like, "You're always having lunch alone." I said, "I'm never alone. Because I never buy a meal for myself alone. I always buy two." So as soon as I step out, I see someone, a cleaner, a gardener, I make sure I give them, so I'm never alone. You know, so I always have a company.
Paying it forward every single day.
Yes, we have to, right? So, I mean, that's the way we've been instilled from our grandparents and our parents.
I was going to say, is this something you've seen growing up?
Yes, so my grandma, she passed away last year, and she was 95. Until 95, she was just donating. So her dream was that the day she leaves the world, she should go empty-handed, and the money should be given to the poor people. So then it came to my father and then my mom, and that's how we.
What a fabulous family to grow up among. That's truly amazing. Anyone who's been touched by this story, how can they reach out to you? How can they get involved?
We have a group on Facebook. They can just join the group, and I keep posting weekly activities. So we have sites already fixed in Dubai and Business Bay. So in case if they miss out any posts, so they already have the location pins and they can join us with the timings given and the number of people at the site.
Amazing. Guys, that was a truly inspirational story for someone who's just giving his time and just truly giving back in the UAE. That's Inder Bhagnani. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.